Hi, I'm Fletcher, Hyslop, and this is my presentation on Wireshark, which is a network monitor. So before I got into the actual program itself, I just decided to give a broad definition of what a network management tool is, or a network monitor. And it's typically a program, software, hardware, that allows for a network manager or a monitor to watch over or supervise the network. It allows for device discovery, which is typically like seeing what devices are on a network. In terms of like simulation labs for this course, it was, I suppose it could be related to showing on the user interface how there was, PC1, PC2, routers and switches. Device monitoring, to me that means seeing data that comes in and out of a specific device, or even seeing like internal data that's just going around in it. Basically, I guess you could see somebody's screen would be an example of monitoring another device. Performance analysis is just looking at the performance of a network in itself, making sure everything's efficiently running, all the routes are how they should be, devices are in an up state. The history of Wireshark, it was created by the author of Gerald Combs, and since it's grown, now that you have the Wireshark development team. The program was first created in 1998, making it 18 years old, and the coding language used for the program was C and C++. The program is available for the operating systems of Windows, Mac, and Linux, and there were two minor operating systems that were also listed, but these are the main three. And it was rated the top packet sniffer, I believe, back in 2010, but yeah. What is Wireshark? It is a software used for packet analyzing, and packet analyzing is basically logging and getting the information of packets flowing through a network or through a individual device. It depends on what you're filtering to, but and after it gets the packets, you can open each one up and see the contents, and depending on what kind it is, they each have their different basis of contents. I'll just get into it more when I go into the demonstration part, but it's open source and it's free, which is always good to see in a program. It's great for beginners when you're just getting into it and you don't want to pay, $100 for a program that you don't know if you're all into that much. And open source, that's good for people who want to make their own changes to it in like a non-official update kind of way. Kind of like how Linux, I guess, would be open source, and there's just like so many different variants out there now of just like people who make their own changes for the better of the operating system. And yeah. The main features of Wireshark, data can be captured or logged, as I said earlier. It can be captured from PPP or loopback networks forget the word, but it's easier than a terminal GUI, or not a terminal GUI. It's easier than a terminal because it has a GUI. They also make a program called T-Shark, which is basically the same basis of a program, but it's ran through a command line in a command prompt. And like other people may see it differently, but at least to me, a GUI is much easier to use than a command line prompt. That's just my opinion. But display filter, you can filter the packets in different ways. By default, it's usually by the time that they come in. You can sort it by, you can filter it through different protocols. So if you just want to see HTTP packets, you can put that into the filter bar and it will only show you those. You can filter it through the display or the user interface as well, just like by time, by type, by destination, by name. And then it has the ability to capture through USB traffic and wireless connections. It said there was supposed to be like some configuring involved if you wanted to use it wirelessly. However, when I ran the program, I didn't do any configuring, and I think it worked just fine. I'm not an expert in it, but it seemed to work pretty well. The purpose of Wireshark, it could be used by network managers for troubleshooting, examining and debugging if there's like an issue in the network. They can use this to see maybe where it's coming from, or at least get like a general area. And learning. If you're like new to it, it's a great program to first download, since it's free and open source and pretty easy to understand from the beginning. There's definitely a learning curve, but I mean, it's pretty easy to get the hang of, in my opinion. I'm not too good at it, but I've just been learning for the past day or so. But packet color coding, not sure how accurate this chart was, but when I used it in the demonstration, it was definitely, there was a lot more colors than the four that this one named. But there's 3 different black ones. The light blue is UDP, the dark blue is DNS traffic, and the green is TCP traffic. There was also red and pink and all this other stuff, but I will cover that when I get into the demonstration, and this was just like a short little table to put in. Security issues, there's always potential threats of people trying to exploit the program. Always take security precautions and have a firewall, antivirus. If you're trying to get into this, obviously you're not going to be like super new to like I guess the tech world. I don't know how to describe it, but you'll know that there's definitely going to be security risks involved with anything like this. And it's not an intrusion detection software. It's not going to tell you, hey, there's something funky happening over here, go look at it. However, if you notice it yourself, the program can help you to, narrow down to where the issue is, or where that behavior is coming from. My experience is definitely not a whole lot. The topic was covered in another class. I took Principles of Security with Miss Simmons, and the topic was covered for, I don't know, maybe half a class, and we just messed around with it for like, I don't know, half an hour or so, and then we got a presentation on it. And yeah, we didn't learn too much in it, but it wasn't supposed to be like a whole lesson. It was just something quickly covered. But I mean, I learned what a packet sniffer was, and what they did, and the stuff involved with it. In conclusion, it's a free open source packet sniffer, which you can't beat if you're a beginning or trying to learn with it. Definitely better than paying top dollar for a super expensive program, which it's also great for home and network use. I mean, if you had your own business or like a very small one, you could probably get away with using this. However, if you were like a professional network manager in a bigger company, it's probably best to go with a commercial grade packet sniffer, a network monitor actually. And you should always be careful with this kind of thing. There was a lot of risks involved, but not a whole lot of risks, but you know what I mean. We're excited. Not sure how to cover that, but that's where I got most of my information. To show the demonstration, Wireshark. Yep. You can enter a capture filter, and this is what I was talking about earlier. You can put a HTTP in here, or any kind of protocol. You could put UDP or TCP, or Okay, well, it turns out I can only record 10 minutes on this at a time, so that abruptly cut me off earlier, but yeah, Bandicam can only do 10 minutes at a time, now I know. But going back to that before, I just started up again to get back to where I was. Alright, so I was here. You could put in TCP, UDP, any kind of protocol in there, and this is where it shows you what network you want to work with. And obviously I can use, I mean I could select Ethernet, but nothing would show up. Obviously I'm not connected. Same with all the LANs there, but if I go to Wi-Fi, I'm connected. And you go to here, which is start capturing packets, and immediately, yep, it starts showing all of these purple TCP things. And what I was talking about earlier with the colors, you can go to view, you could turn coloring off, but if you go to coloring rules, this is the more correct version of the color map, not the 4 ones I listed, but pretty sure I said there were 3 black ones before. It turns out there's actually 5, and there's 3 red ones. I think I said that green was TCP, but that's definitely HTTP. TCP is more of a gray color here, and UDP still kind of light blue. But yeah, try not to take too much time with that, but you could take a TCP or TCP packet here. It shows the time which it was, which it came up, and that's how it default sorts. You can also, this is what I was talking about earlier, you can filter it within the user interface by the info, protocol, destination, source, or time. There it is. You can double click on them and open them up, and it'll show you the contents. Internet protocol, IPv4, it's basic stuff, and length, that's how long the hex message is, or whatever. This message here is how many characters that is. And so 557 is obviously going to be way longer than 42. And destination, obviously, this is where it was going. Source is where it came from. Information, this is, yeah. I'm still learning how to use it, but I mean, I feel like I have the basis down on it. And yeah, I don't know what much else to cover on it, but you can apply display filters. This was a major feature of this. If you put in DNS, it'll come up with all of the DNS packets sorted under the protocol. We could do UDP, shows you all the ones that have to do with UDP, including DNS and SSNP, SSDP, I mean. Yeah. But that's about it, and thanks for watching. Hopefully this uploads smoothly to YouTube, and yeah. Boop.